For more than 100 years, Wright's Indian art has brought together the best of the classic Native American crafts. This spacious gallery holds authentic and unique pieces that will appeal to both serious collectors and hobbyists. Decades of loyal clients have relied on Wright's for uncompromising quality, value, and personal service.
It was started by Charles and Catherine Wright, who came out from the plains of Kansas to come out to New Mexico. He's a flamboyant frontiersman, and he got involved with going around and getting merchandise from Mexico and from New Mexico and Arizona and from the different tribes. Mr. Wright passed away in 1938, and his wife, Catherine, kept it going as best she could. And in 1956, the present owners, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, who came up from Mexico, they had a dress shop on First Street. And when it was torn down to make way for other things, they had to look for a new business. And they always loved antiques and different types of items. So they walked into her store, and she was ready to sell. And they said, you know what? We love Indian art. We love the Native American things, and we love things from Mexico. So we would like to buy the store. So they bought the store from Mrs. Wright in 1956.
And that farmer started playing around, and he developed this whole, sometimes called Mata Ortiz, because that's the name of the village.
Every day I come to work and I say, or Judy tells me, no more buying, and then the next person who walks in has something absolutely magnificent, and you still buy it. We only buy from the artists. We want to make sure that when we sell you something, that it's going to be authentic. And that's where we maintain our integrity, is because of the fact that we know who made what. And what we want is for you to go out and everyone to say, where did you get such a beautiful piece? And that comes from Wright's. So if you bought it right, you got it at Wright's. Not only do we use artists who already have stature, but a lot of them, when they started with us, were not known. And now they have become known. You can go to Indian Market and find their pieces all over. And it's just, it's a wonderful thing. But art is, when you buy a piece of art, you buy it because you love it. Not because it's going up in value, but because you love it and go enjoy wearing it and having it in your home, whether it's pottery or rugs or kachinas. Whatever you make, whatever you buy, make sure it's something you love.
Buy what you love. And joining us are Wayne Bobrick, Director of Wright's Indian Art, and Assistant Director Judy Bennett. Hi, you two. I'm so glad to see you.
Hello, Nikki. It's
Good morning.
We're wonderful to be here.
Thanks for adorning me today in beautiful art.
But you wear it beautifully as well.
Thank you so much. I want to talk about the fact that, you know, we just talked a little bit about the history, and you work with some of the same families that Wright's has been dealing with for generations. So tell us a little bit about some of these artists.
Well, let's start out with the fact that when Mr. and Mrs. Chernoff came into the business,
yes,
one of the first friends was Maria Martinez, the famous potter of San Ildefonso. And it's been fantastic to watch how her family has evolved from her husband and her creating the first black pottery, and then going down to Santana and Adam and Popovi, and creating a style that is unique and will last for centuries.
Amazing.
And then Pablita Velarde, who was another absolutely wonderful and famous painter and doll maker, and she's been going on along with her daughter Helen Hardin, who both of them have passed on since now, and now shown in Santa Fe. But it's amazing all the families that we have, going back from artists from Santo Domingo who created some of the finest hishi and pieces of that type going on.
And you see artists' families, so you see the different generations continue to keep the traditions alive, right, Judy?
Right. We see generations of artists, 2 and 3, sometimes 4 for a while.
Wow.
And generations of customers too.
Well, and I don't want people to be intimidated, because, you know, I walked in the store, there's so much, and it can be overwhelming if you don't have the right budget or you don't have the right people helping you. And Judy showed me a lot about the art I was wearing, a lot about the beautiful jewelry, and also the fact that this inventory fits every budget. So first, what are we looking at? What was that necklace? Who made that one that we were just looking at?
That was Navik, who is a major award-winning artist, Navajo and Greek. That's where the name Navik comes in.
And those earrings?
That was Dylan Poblano, who is a young major superstar who's very fashion-forward, very hip, and he does exciting creative things.
Oh, just beautiful. And to go to that budget point, I want to talk about the fact that there is something for everyone. You don't have to spend millions of dollars to collect art. So tell us a little bit about the price range.
Well, you know, we have things that begin from $5, $7, $50, all the way up to $30,000. Depends on whatever you want. But one thing's for sure, it will always be handmade and will always come from our Native American artists in this area.
And will always be one of a kind, right?
One of a kind, handmade, created, and fabricated by the person we buy from. We buy only from the artists. We choose. We shop first.
And I saw that firsthand in the store when we were in there doing the shoot. Artists walking in with just a piece that they said, we'd like you to have this piece. And then you negotiated right there in front of me. And I saw it for myself. And I really appreciate the knowledgeable staff that you have. Can you just talk a little bit about that? Because everyone knows so much about every single piece.
Well, you know, let's start with Judy, who's been with the temporarily now for 24 years.
Temporarily,
That's right. Temporarily.
But our staff today consists of artists themselves, people who know how things are created and made, so that when they talk to you, they're talking to you from their own knowledge as well, and years of experience. Janice Tenorio from Santo Domingo can talk to you about a lot of the different types of jewelry. Chris Jackson.
Everybody.
Her father, who's very, very famous, Tommy Jackson, creates some of the most
Tommy
beautiful
gave me beautiful earrings. And I want to cut you off for a moment because I want to remind everybody how they can find you and also remind them about the new store and that you do have some amazing inventory on clearance right now. The new store opens when?
Hopefully sometimes around the 1st of November.
Okay, wonderful.
But in the meantime, we need to have you come out and rescue a lot of our pieces that we have. None of them are bad, so we love them all. We can't take them all with us. So we need for you to come and help us rescue them. We have all sorts of things going from 10 to 60% off.
It's an amazing
and
deal.
Including the Chernoff collection, their museum collection, of which is also on sale from 30 to 60% off.
Fantastic stuff. Honestly, you guys, it's been a pleasure to be able to wear the jewelry and to come into the store, and I highly recommend everybody follow suit and does the same thing. Thank you so much for all you do.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
It's our pleasure.
It's wonderful tradition in our community. And still ahead on New Mexico Style, we'll meet 3 young artists who are wowing crowds in our nation's capital. Stick around.
Thank you.